Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to see you once again. This is Evangelist Jess Brymer. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button. If at the end of the program you enjoy the issue, you enjoy the arguments, you enjoy the teachings, please click like and share with your friends. I just feel led to talk about crypto pregnancy. Crypto pregnancy. I don't know how many of you have heard about crypto pregnancy, although I understand the right word really is cryptic pregnancy. But most people generally call it crypto pregnancy, but the right thing is cryptic pregnancy. When something is cryptic, that's something hidden, that's something mysterious, something that is an enigma. That's what that word cryptic means. So when you talk about cryptic pregnancies, mysterious pregnancy. I heard about this pregnancy, this particular kind of pregnancy. I was introduced to the process of this particular kind of pregnancy, but it didn't sit right with me. In all my years of infertility issues, I was tempted excuse me, I was tempted to find out what it was really all about. And a friend said, oh, there's this way you can get pregnant and nobody will really know, even a scan will not detect it, but you're pregnant and you eventually deliver and have a baby. I said, really? Tell me about it. So the friend took me to a particular hospital. That was when I was still in Nigeria. And the hospital is in southern Nigeria. I don't want to name the particular city. So I knew about that kind of pregnancy, but I never knew there was a name for it. I never knew that it's called cryptic pregnancy. So I read something some time ago where a particular doctor was saying, a friend of mine, a woman came to visit me and told me she was pregnant. And I said to her, you're pregnant? Have you done this scan and all that? She said, yes, that she didn't need to do scan because the kind of pregnancy that she had was the type that you don't need to do scan because a scan will not show it. So the doctor said to her, wait a minute. She said, oh, it's called crypto pregnancy. The doctor said to her, there's nothing like crypto pregnancy. There's nothing like a pregnancy that you cannot see when you look at a scan. You use an ultrasound. There's no pregnancy like that. The woman said, no, it exists. And a lot of my friends also have had kids through that process. So it exists. And that's what I'm going through now. I have the crypto pregnancy. The man said to her, I don't agree with what you're saying at all. There's nothing like that. Are you sure you're not being deceived? Are you sure? How can you be pregnant and an ultrasound machine will not detect the sign of life in your womb? The doctor said to her, I don't agree. So when I read that, I just remember, yes. I said, yes. This man is talking about what I had told my friend some years back when she took me to that hospital. I'll tell you my story about how we went to that hospital and what my observation was, what I observed and my experience, and why I said, no, I can't partake of this, even though I had been going through infertility issues. And my friend wasn't happy about that. She wasn't happy that I budged because she had gone through that process. And at that time, she said she was pregnant. I decided to talk about this issue just because 2 days ago, I read another article by a medical doctor in Nigeria. This doctor is practically raising an alarm, saying that he wants to expose, that he was going to expose the doctors who are practicing this kind of evil and deceiving women that they're pregnant. Meanwhile, he said after 9 months, these women are handed down babies from baby factories, babies that are not theirs. And they are meant to believe that this is their baby, that they delivered the baby. So, but those babies are not theirs. So he said that these doctors are really making a lot of money from this and that it's wrong, it's a malpractice, it's deceitful, and it's evil. So when I read that article, I say, yeah, I understand. I have an idea what this man is talking about. So the doctor said that what these doctors are doing is they're injecting pregnancy hormones into these women. I used to think that they were probably injecting the kind of there are some kind of hormones that are injected into people when they go through IVF. But the thing is, those injections don't last from beginning of pregnancy to the end. They last for maybe the beginning of the pregnancy, and then after a while, it's spaced out, and then not to the end of the pregnancy. But these particular hormones they inject in these women, they inject them regularly until the last day of the pregnancy. They keep injecting them with the hormones, and it makes them feel pregnant, it makes them feel bloated, and it makes them have vomiting. And some don't really have vomiting, but some have those nausea and pregnancy symptoms. But when you look through a scan, an ultrasound, it doesn't detect any pregnancy. So this doctor was furious and saying that this is wrong, that this thing needs to stop in Nigeria. But one thing is to say, it's one thing to criticize something in Nigeria, it's another thing for law enforcement to do what they need to do. They hardly do that. They don't enforce the law. And and that's why these doctors are getting away with this malpractice. We hear stories about baby factories. In fact, on my radio show, I had done several editions on baby factories in Nigeria, where young girls are deceived and told that they are going to do the work of house girl in the city, and then they are taken to a fortified building, locked up there, and young men come to rape them, get them pregnant, and they are kept there until they deliver the baby. Once they deliver the baby, they are thrown out. They're just thrown out immediately. So they have baby factories that produce babies for them in Nigeria, and the government doesn't want to do anything about it. Like every other evil that's going on in Nigeria, the government is just not interested in doing anything about it. So when this doctor explained how these women are able to feel pregnant, how they're injected with pregnancy hormones that makes them feel pregnant, and how they're deceived, I said, yes, it's time for me to tell my story and what I know about these cryptic pregnancy scams going on in Nigeria. Of course, I was infertile for years, probably because I didn't get married early, and also I had fibroids. After I got married, I realized I had fibroids that I needed to get out of the way first. And then thereafter, I went through some tests, and the doctors in the UK found out that I had a very high prolactin level. Prolactin is part of is something that is in the blood of every human being. Prolactin is very important when you have a baby, you lactate and you're able to breastfeed your baby. But an excess prolactin in the body can cause infertility issues. When I was living in Nigeria, I did a lot of tests, fertility tests, including prolactin tests. But all the tests I did, almost 5 of them in different places and different towns, all the tests showed that my prolactin was okay. But I was actually very ill at the time, and I was having terrible headaches for years. I battled headaches and insomnia, and I was ill. In 2000, I nearly died. So my friends who are close to me, people who know me, know that I had to jettison my TV shows in Nigeria when I became very ill, and I had to close down my media business. I was actually an employee of labor, and I had my TV production outfit. I was also a magazine publisher. So people close to me know that I had to close down my business because I was very ill and unable to really function, So eventually, over 10 years after that incident, when I now came to the United Kingdom, they discovered that I actually had a tumor in the brain. This side of the brain, I had a tumor. And that tumor was producing high prolactin in my blood. The doctors in Nigeria, the medical labs in Nigeria never ever detected that. And they explained to me that the normal prolactin level in every human being is between 0 and 500. But when they tested my blood, mine was 8,860. And that was how they realized that there must be a tumor here producing the prolactin, and I had to do CT scan, and they found the tumor and the size of the tumor, and I started undergoing treatment for it. And the doctors said to me, this is a number one cause of infertility in women. Well, before I left Nigeria and I was going through the infertility issues, a friend took me to one of these hospitals that can help you through cryptic pregnancy. But suffice it to say that after I went through treatment for prolactin, I was treated for a period of 5 years because I said I didn't want to do surgery. I was scared of surgery because I had done fibroid surgery. I just said I didn't want any more surgery. And so the consultant told me, said the treatment will take up to 5 years to shrink this size of tumor. And there's a fear of it growing back. And that's why they keep monitoring to see if it's growing back, you know. So after the treatment, I was actually able to conceive with a little medical help, able to conceive, and I had my baby. I'm telling you this story because I want to go back to my experience with the doctors that carry out these crypto pregnancies in Nigeria. A friend told me about it and took me there, and I met the doctor. And she is a woman, and she's a pastor. She pastors a church, and everything she says, she punctuates it with God. Nothing impossible with God. God is this and God is that. God does miracles. God has been doing miracles in her clinic, and amazingly, they say they have 100% success rate. So she touched my tummy and said, well, this is what is wrong, that is what is wrong with you, this and that, and I will make sure you get pregnant. And I said, okay. I said, but my friend was telling me on the way that if I get pregnant through your clinic, I must deliver in your clinic. I can't deliver elsewhere. I said, but I'm about going abroad because I want to do my postgraduate, my PhD studies, and I want to travel. So can you help me get pregnant, and I can deliver my baby abroad, since I'll be living abroad by the end of 9 months? She said, no, you must deliver in my hospital. You must deliver in my hospital. That is it. I said, but that didn't sit right with me. I said, if I'm living abroad, people travel from Nigeria to UK, to US to have their children abroad because of the medical facilities and all that. Now I'll be living in the UK, then have to travel back to Nigeria to deliver my baby. I pleaded with her, begged her, excuse me, I said, if I have to go through your process to have a baby, can I have my baby abroad? But she said no. She insisted that I must have my baby in Nigeria. I must leave London to come back to Nigeria to have my baby. That was red flag number one. That flagged off in my brain. And then she said, if you want to have just one baby, you don't want twins, one baby, I think she said to me, 1.2 million. And if you want twins, I think twins was about 2.5 million. And and also if you want a boy, the price is different. If you want a girl, the price is different. I said to myself that I've heard about gender selection in IVF. I understand the process. You can have the embryo, and then you go through some tests to know whether it's a male or a female. I feel that is tenable. But her process is not IVF. Her process is, when you start, she'll just give you injections on your laps, and you have to come for regular injections on the laps, and she will tell you the dates to meet with your husband, and once you meet with your husband, you will get pregnant. And she doesn't do IVF. So I was wondering, how will you be able to select the gender just by giving me injections and I get pregnant? How? I couldn't wrap my head around it. Honestly, I couldn't. So you can make sure the person gets pregnant with a boy or with a girl without going through gender editing, as they call it, and knowing the gender in an embryo and all that. And that was another red flag for me. Then I left the clinic and said to her, we'll get back to her. And so on the way, my husband actually followed me to the clinic, but he didn't follow me to go and see the doctor. So, because my husband is straight as a ruler. Is that kind of man that when he was in the world, he was really in the world. Now that he's a born-again Christian minister of the gospel, he is just on that straight and narrow path. My husband is the husband that a man I met and I quoted for 4 years and didn't ask me to sleep with him, because he said he had made that covenant with the Lord to keep himself until marriage, after he had made mistakes in the past, just like myself too. And I said to him, do you know I also made that covenant with the Lord to keep myself after the mistakes of the past? And in fact, it was that statement from him that made me know that this indeed is my husband. Even though we were just friends, we were friends for over 4 years before we knew that, yes, he said to me, the Lord says you're my wife. The first time I saw him and related with him, I knew he would be my husband. But because he wasn't talking in that line, I just took my mind off it and just said, this is a great friend, this is a good prayer partner, where I confide in him and he confides in me, and that was okay by me, for that time, until we just realized that we are in it forever. So my husband followed me, and when I told him the details of what happened, he said, no, I don't believe in this, we can never partake of this, no, we're not coming back here, no. He just stood his ground. And I said, yes, I think you're right, because some things didn't sit well with me. And then I said to my friend, but what about this? I'm going abroad. I should have my baby abroad. My friend said, no. If you don't want to have your baby in her clinic, as she has said, better not start, because she might give you an injection that will keep the baby in your womb, but you will not be able to have the baby. So it's better you don't, start if you know you won't have your baby in her clinic. I said, even my friend... Even my friend, are you on my side or against me? Instead of you to help me plead with the woman to agree for me to start the process. And, oh, my baby's crying now. She's awake. Once she's awake, you must give her all the attention. But I'll just round up here. And I want to say that, yes, what they're doing is deceitful. Because I'm sorry. Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you very much. Okay. Mommy loves you. Because what the woman said was wrong with me, that was the cause. I'm sorry, Mommy loves you. Mommy is busy. I'm sorry. Mommy loves you so much. What the woman said was the cause of the infertility was not the cause of my infertility then. The cause of my infertility was the high prolactin level. Not what she touched in my womb and say, I think this is wrong here. This is wrong with your womb. I think she was wrong. She was wrong. Because after I had the prolactin treatment, I was able to have my baby. If I didn't have it, a prolactin level of 8,860 was way, way too high. And by the time I had the treatment, my prolactin level came to 53. 53, yes, it came to 53. So the cryptic pregnancy thing is a scam. It's a scam, because if you want to have boys, the woman will charge you a particular amount. If you want to have girls, she'll charge you a particular amount. How is she able to edit the gender without an embryo, without having an embryo to work on? And another thing that sent the stars flying around all around me was when she said to me, when my friend said to me that if you go through this process, you don't need to do scan. You don't need, because the ultrasound will not catch it. I said, what kind of pregnancy will you have that an ultrasound will not be able to detect that you're pregnant? Here in the United Kingdom, once you're pregnant, 12 weeks, you have to do a scan for them to see the baby, be sure the baby is breathing and well and making progress, and they have specific periods during the pregnancy that you must do your scan for them to know the baby is growing, the baby is not static, that everything, the heartbeat and everything is okay. And then after a while, they're able to see the gender and tell you whether it's a boy or a girl. So why would a doctor who has helped you get pregnant tell you don't ever go to any scan? Don't go to a scan because scan will not say it. I mean, that's very strange. And I said to my friend, are you sure the baby they gave you, because eventually she had the baby, are you sure the baby they gave you is yours? Or you were unconscious and they brought another baby and told you it's your baby? Because when they go through this treatment, you'll be bleeding throughout the pregnancy until the day you deliver. Your tummy will never be big. When I got pregnant, My tummy at 6 months was this size, at 7 months, and then by the time I got to 9 months, my stomach got bigger, even though it was my first pregnancy. But in their own case, the stomach would just be like 5 or 6 month old pregnancy, and it will not go beyond that up to the date of delivery. In fact, maybe it even looks like 4 months pregnancy. It doesn't look so big, and they believe they are pregnant. So the government of Nigeria needs to investigate this. Those baby factories must be closed, because how can you hijack a young girl from her family, telling her she's going to be a house help in a city, and then she ends up in a fortified compound where boys come in the night to rape her? The girls say they slap them, what, and rape them. And then once you get pregnant, they stop the rape. They take care of you until you deliver, and then they throw you out. That's wrong. That's very wrong. I am an anti-abortion campaigner. And that's why I say, when people get pregnant, rather than, allow them to abort the pregnancy, have a safe place you keep them. You keep them to deliver the baby. You pay them some money and take those babies for adoption. So rather than hijack young girls and get them raped, why don't you take care of those that have gotten pregnant, have unwanted pregnancy? Why don't you take care of those ones and have a safe place to keep them, take care of them? They have the baby, take the baby from them. The government can do that. Rather than saying it's good to abort, encouraging young girls to abort their babies and committing murder and defiling the land, because innocent blood cries out against the land. I've lost a lot of friends since I became an anti-abortion campaigner, but I don't care, because the word of God says, for the life of the flesh is in the blood. There's life there. Once there's conception, there's life there, because there's blood there. The life there must not be violently murdered for any reason whatsoever. For any reason. I remember when my doctor said to me, "You're my oldest patient to get pregnant." I actually had a 52-year-old. He said, I actually had a 52-year-old that got pregnant, and she aborted it because she said she already has 3 kids and didn't want more. Abortion on demand, abortion at will, killing innocent people. Why didn't that woman have that baby and give it out for adoption? Why? I just hope the government of Nigeria will look into this issue of cryptic pregnancy, because it is wrong. It's abhorrent. It's an abomination. I just want to end this there. I'll do another video on other topics, but I just want to get this out of my chest first, before I continue. Please, if you like the program, can you just click like and share with your friends? Thank you. I'm Evangelist Jess.